Hello, everybody. Are we live? We are live. Alexa pushed the right button, and we are live. We've been working on some tech issues, getting in touch with Wendy and such, and we think we may have sorted them out. So we're gonna try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and we're all going to be very disappointed. But it's nice to see you guys. I might be having technical problems right now, but I see that there's some people here, and I think that we're going to say hi. It's first Thursday. It's the first Thursday of May. May the 4th be with you, of course. And I am here to say hi. I just got back from California. I drove 16 and a half hours on Monday to sleep in my own bed, and it was good. I had a great time in California. Played with David James, played with Julie Beaver, played with Marty Rifkin and Claudia Russell and Bruce Kaplan at McCabe's. McCabe's went really well. I posted my entire set with Marty Rifkin up on my Patreon. So if you take this opportunity, if that's what you want to see, if that makes you join the Patreon, I won't be insulted. I see we've got a few people now. Talk to me. Yeah, give me some comments. Tell me who's watching and from where. Philip's here. Hi, Philip. Are you in Pennsylvania, Philip, or is it New Jersey? I don't know. But let me know you're here. Give me a little comment. Tom Harris is here. Thank you. So we will know if the guitar's not working. That's always good. We plug in our, Tom Harris being here makes me think about plugging in my guitar, which is great. So we've been working for the last hour with Wendy, getting her ready, and we think we're going to be able to do this, and we're just going to try our best to do it. And we can't get a, hey Scott from Fort Collins. Oh, you watched the video on Patreon. Thank you. Yeah, that was fun. It was just an iPhone from the middle of the room, right? So the audio and video from the iPhone. So I was a little embarrassed, but I thought it kind of captured, what happened there. Thank you, Tom. Well, it's nice to see you. I thought I might just play a song, because actually we can celebrate the Proud Boys being convicted of seditious conspiracy. What is it? What was the charge? We can do that by playing this new song. This is from the Monday Night. Hey, Leanne, I bet you're pretty close by, aren't you? I bet you're in Oregon, which is great. But, well, it's not celebrate, but let's note that the Proud Boys were guilty of seditious conspiracy today and celebrate it by this historical sedition. Thank you, Robert Morgan Fisher. Celebrate it with this song of mine, which is kind of a historical fiction. Let's see. I kind of call it January 6th. It comes from that Monday Night Songwriting Group. Hearing guitar? Let me know. I'm not going to start singing until you tell me that the guitar is coming through. Okay, good. Hey, Suzette. I'm guessing you know Wendy, because I don't think I know you. Okay, good guitar. Here we go. She was out of options. All her plans stonewalled. Things were bleak since the adoption and the highway call. He had lost direction, moving to a different drum. On the road to the insurrection, the girl, a thumb. And how can you know what Jesus meant when you're on your way to the scene of the crime? And how about truth and consequence? One bad choice in silence. Funny how you never know. He blurted out, I don't like violence. Even so, miles turned to hours. The silence turned to tears. They shared their anguished stories of the wretched years. And how can you know what Jesus meant when you're on your way to the scene of the crime? And how about truth and consequence, one bad choice at a time? They sang along to George Jones. Oh, he told her of the plan, about all the unknown unknowns and the strength of the plan. She got all excited. Yeah, she was the first one in, but she never was indicted, 'cause that's where it ended. And how can you know what Jesus meant when you're all broke down at the scene of the crime? And how about truth and consequence, one bad choice at a time? He felt the call like scripture. She never told him her real name, but he recognized her picture of the grievous shame. Waiting at the motel, he wasn't with her when she died. He would deliver arms when night fell, but somebody lied. And how can you know what Jesus meant when the gig is up at the scene of the crime? And how about truth and consequence, one bad choice at a time? Jan 6, we call that. Hey, Dave Reekin, we were in a band in high school together, weren't we? I think so. That's pretty awesome. Tim Robinson. So I got to tell people, I met Wendy Beckerman, our special guest today. I met her in this Monday Night Songwriting Group that I've told you a lot about. And I just owe these people, they're so brilliant and so thoughtful and so kind. And I owe them so much for taking me from imposter syndrome to actually believing that I could write a song. And the whole idea of the deadline and the Monday night thing, I did it for 6 months, and I ended up with 20 songs, maybe 12 of which I like. Thank you, Scott. Yeah, that song was for today. That song just now. I call it Jan 6, but I don't know what the name of it is going to be. And I thought, of course, Tim Robinson. You're such a great writer, Tim, and you give me such good advice. And as I saw you comment there, I was singing a line that you suggested that I change, and I didn't. And it crossed my mind. Let's try to bring Wendy in here and talk to her about this. Wendy is from the Monday Night Group. That's where I met her, and she's another one of those kind and brilliant people that I really owe a lot to. Hi, Donna and Bill in Fort Collins. Thank you, Axa. Hey, Wendy.
Hey, Daryl. Can you hear me?
I can totally hear you. That's so funny. It was all stress and and crumbles for the last hour as we tried to make the tech part of this work, and it just didn't work. And I just kept pushing, and Wendy, she hung in there, and with a minute and a half to go, we just said, okay, and here we are. We're talking
Stress
to each
and
other.
Crumbles. That's going to be the title of my next song.
I love it. I'm a co-writer then? No, I'm just
Absolutely.
kidding. No, we're. Well, I'm glad to have met you, and I appreciate your support, in particular during my time there with the group. And I wanted to ask you a few things about songwriting. Can I ask you a few things?
Yeah, although I have to say, I thought I was going to have a little more time. I thought you might play another song. So
I was thinking of playing another song, and then I just thought, what the heck, you know.
You know what? Play another song, please.
Okay. Well,
and
I will
I'll be
play another
even
song.
more ready.
And then we'll come back, and we'll talk
Perfect.
some more to Wendy, and we'll get her to play a couple songs. Okay. Thank you, Aksa. Here I am. I'm going to do another Monday night song. I thought I would do one that I haven't... this one I haven't played a lot. And this is one of the few. There were a few during my time sharing these songs with the group every Monday that I had been working on for a long time, and then I just worked on it that week and specifically, and then presented it. So this is one of those. This is about my daughter. Are you here, Carrie? I think she couldn't be here. She's driving across the country. Hi. Thanks for the love, Tim. Hey, Ellie from San Diego. Anyway, so this song is about my daughter. I've told the group that, you know, when I get stuck when I'm writing, and then I just like think of some words to come out. I'm usually at that point giving advice to my daughter. That's what comes out, and they suggested that was a good idea to give it to her in a song like that instead of in person. But this is just a song about Carrie, who, you know, she had an accident as a child, and she can only cry in one eye. So this is called "The Girl Who Only Cries in One Eye." We'll see if I know it. That's the thing. You write 20 new songs real quick. How can you play them all? How can you remember them all? I don't know, but I'm going to try. She makes it look easy, but she'd tell you it's not. It's not always easy. Sometimes she has to try, some days to just get by. She's the girl who only cries in one eye. She sees the whole picture, minus some beats. She's a huggable fixture. Limitations don't apply, 'cause she keeps her one cheek dry. She's the girl who only cries in one eye. She cries when the lights go down on this sleepy town too early. She sighs as lovers seem to vanish prematurely. She's traveled to Paris. She's traveled to Rome. Her tears water roses. Though California's dry, let's go and say goodbye with the girl who only cries in one eye. She cries when the nights are long, but there's nothing wrong, especially. She smiles as the boys all tell they'll be her Elvis Presley. She's writing her story I tell her don't worry. You don't need the sky, just your piece of the pie. You're the girl who only cries and won't lie. Girl who only cries and won't lie. Yeah, the girl who only cries in one eye. I was planning on relearning that in the hour before we played today, but then we did all the technical stuff. Hello, Toby. Good to see you here. Thank you, Leanne. Visual is pretty blurry. That's funny because I'm looking on my computer and I look really good. I have to say. No. I mean, it's not blurry, is what I meant to say. But Auxa says it's blurry out there. Are you still getting blurry, Auxa? That's just weird. How can my computer? This tech stuff. Hey, Mary. Nice to see you from across town. Glad you are here. Could be Facebook, yeah. You know, YouTube, are you, but yeah, Auxa is watching on StreamYard, and it's not good. Is that correct, Auxa? I couldn't hear you. But I believe you. Hey, let's bring Wendy on. Let's bring Wendy back on. Let's talk to her. She looks ready to me. Hi, Wendy.
Hi.
You know, in a perfect world, there just really is no perfect world. That's the thing, right? So here we are, making the best of it. I gave you very late notice. Did I like text you 3 days ago and said, "Hey, would you be my first musical guest on First Thursdays?" And you were like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And you were like, "When are we going to do sound check?" And I go, "How about 4 p.m., an hour before we go on?" And you're like, "Yeah." Anyway, here we are, and we're talking. I think I understand that you have been have a long history with these kind of weekly song gatherings, way back to Jack Hardy, and you know, I just discovered in the last 6 months what it could mean to have a deadline and to have people that were supporting you and listening to your song and giving you advice. But you've been doing it a long time. Can you talk a little bit about what it's meant to you to have this songwriting group and a regular thing?
Yeah, well, I was so fortunate to step into groups like this in New York City. As you said, and Jack Hardy was running the group for many years before I arrived, and I had only written a couple of songs and was invited to a meeting, and it was a great place to start because I just wrote and wrote and wrote a song a week, you know, for the first 10 years of my writing. And yeah. And I learned a lot, and I learned a lot about listening. I learned a lot about not getting too attached to anything, and I learned a lot about how I often don't know even when I have a keeper song, you know, and it really helps to have other writers say, "This one, keep this one," you know, and it might be, you know, a while later before I realize, oh, okay, this one is a keeper, you know, like they said. But ultimately, you know, the community showing up, all having the deadline, each person committing, and whether you write a song or not, just showing up, listening, getting inspired by each other. So much magic happens. Like when, you know, very often, and this has always happened, is that, you know, we show up and several people have the same strange word in their song that's, you know, or, you know, so, and then other times when we intentionally create a song prompt or a challenge for everyone to play with. But just, you know, I grew up as a songwriter doing the deadline.
Yeah, so that's 500 songs in your first 10 years. That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, many of them, of course, fell off and crumbled
Yeah.
away and crashed and burned, and that's fine. That's where they belong, compost.
I've been listening to your album, Angel in My Ear, and just really loving it.
Thank
And
you.
yeah. And I remember that we had a conversation once. You talked about listening, and you not only get good at coming up with songs by being in a group like that, but you get good at listening. And I have felt that really for most of my 6 months. I've just felt like I had nothing to offer. I had such a hard time listening, and you specifically made the point that you will learn to listen with this group, and I do feel like that happened, at least in some small measure. And so thanks for that idea.
Now you're speaking in the past tense. Why are you speaking in the past tense? Because you're
Ah,
still with us,
I,
right?
yeah, I am.
I know you took a couple weeks off doing some performing, but are you planning on another 6 months?
I committed to 6 months,
Ah,
and yet my feeling was I couldn't really give up. I couldn't give up the community. I felt so good about the people, and it was so good for me, and I felt like I was just starting to write good songs, and I wanted to write more good songs. So I went at this last month with a little bit of a half-heartedness, and you know what I found out? If you're half-hearted about it, you don't do it. you don't make it happen. To actually write a song a week requires an incredible commitment, an intense need and want and desire to. Yes, Tim. Yeah, no quitting now.
no quitting now.
Thanks, Tim.
Here's how I feel about it. If it works for you, and not just you, but if it works for someone, great. It doesn't work for everyone. The deadline in the community have always worked for me, has always just been exciting for me and inspiring. And for as long as it works for you, great. And so I hope you'll keep doing it with us, because it's been so great to have you. New blood.
Thank you.
And just been very exciting to see you do the thing you didn't think you could do, which was write a song a week.
That's
So,
very sweet.
congratulations.
It's true.
Yeah.
I didn't know I could do it, and I took that leap. I had another question for you. I saw an interview with you, and you spoke of, in talking about songwriting, you spoke about being of service with your songwriting. Can you, did I get that right? And can you explain a little bit about that?
I don't exactly recall what I might have said, but in this moment, when I think about being of service and songwriting and making music and sharing it, I know in the big picture, I feel that I'm here to be a loving presence in the world, and compassionate, and to put that out in the world. And so making music is, first of all, it's my, it brings me to life and helps me be, being in the creative process, and then sharing whatever I've created. It feels like I'm giving love to the world in some way, and whether anyone hears it or not, just the act of making music and putting that vibration out there, because I connect so deeply in the process. It just feels like it could only be for good. So that's one way.
Well, that's
say.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Would you share a couple songs with us right now?
Sure.
Okay. Alex is going to make me go away. And,
okay.
Yeah.
So I'll get big.
Yeah, you'll get big here. I believe. I'll be cut off. So.
All right. So I thought it would be fun to start with this song that I wrote just a few weeks ago, and it's I'm playing it for my partner Karen and her sisters, And the story is that my father-in-law, he passed away in February, and in his last weeks, he knew he was getting ready to die. He asked his daughters, to invite certain people. He made a list. Here are the people that I want to see before I die. And so they made calls, they sent emails, they did what they could do. There was much arranging going on. And in the meantime, he was working on his obituary, and it was quite an incredible last several weeks of his life. Well, one of the people he wanted to be there was named Betty, and she came and she visited, and apparently, very spirited woman. None of myself or his daughters had met her, but she was just wonderful. And it was just this very spirited visit. And then she left. And after she left, my father-in-law turned to his daughters and said, "That was the wrong Betty." And that caught my ear. And I filled in some of the details, not having been there myself, but I kept hearing about it, the wrong Betty. So here we go. And this is something a little different for me. It was the wrong Betty who flew through the door. The Betty we expected would have rung the bell for sure, and waited all day to be invited in. But no, the wrong Betty blew in like kin. Well, now the wrong Betty didn't know that she was wrong. She had every good reason to be summoned for a song, as he lay there dying, making last requests. Only the wrong Betty came in her Sunday best. Her hat was white as his eyes as she kissed him. It had been a dog's age since the wrong Betty missed him. She twirled in her sneakers and pointed her cane. Seems like the wrong Betty was right as rain. Do 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 do. It was the wrong Betty. Now let us pray that the right Betty won't be coming today. It was the wrong Betty with a live wire laugh, who pulled up her sleeves and rewrote his epitaph. She floated out the window and the peacocks replied, "So long, the wrong Betty, we're glad you came by." Do 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 do.
Yay. Well, Alxa thought I needed to be put back in here, but I was planning on you just going right to your second song.
Ah,
Yeah. But,
okay.
are you ready for the second song?
I am.
Okay. Good job. You're doing good.
Thanks.
You're
Any
doing
crackling
great.
going on? Everything sounds
There's
reasonable.
crackling going on, yes.
Ooh,
But,
there is.
you know, yeah. But we're just doing the best we can, people. And people know that. And people
Thanks
are
for your comments, everyone. Appreciate
sending
it.
love. Yeah.
Well, I've been thinking a lot, about death. I realize I've been thinking about death since my 20s, so it's nothing new. Not in a morbid way, really, as a way of embracing life. But, between my father-in-law passing and also last summer, I went through cancer treatment, and I'm doing great now. So it was early stage ovarian cancer, doing very well, feeling better and better. So I don't know, just feeling super grateful to be here. And there's a song I wrote. I actually wrote this a couple of years ago, and I don't know, it just feels like a good moment for it. Who is the one that you pray to? Who is the one who will listen today? Who is the one calling out, or in silence, the music, the trees, to the depths of the seas? Do you pray on your knees in the evening, or all the day long? Who is the one that you turn to? Who is the one when the water is high? Turn to yourself or the person you live with, a neighbor, a stranger, the voice you remember, up to your chest in the morning, or all the day long. Who is the one you would die for? Who is the one without blinking an eye? Who, when the time comes, has made life worth living? A child, a friend, intertwined to the end, going out on a limb, weeping willow, laugh all the day long.
So beautiful, Wendy. I love your music.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Are we still having trouble, like seeing? Is it blurry out there in the world?
Right now, I don't see you at all.
You don't
Thank
see me
you,
at
Leanne.
all. That is so funny.
Yes. You're just a dark rectangle.
I'm actually logging on to Facebook on my phone here to see what it looks like, and I can't find it. So there you go. But Wendy, could I ask you one more question about music before we let you go?
Sure.
Yes, no Daryl Purpose. That's so funny.
Thank
You
you,
can't see
Tim.
me? I see me.
We can't see you.
Do you hear me?
We hear you.
That's funny. Let me ask you this one question. I'd like to get your answer to this one question, and then I think we'll, yeah, figure out to do it. We'll say goodbye and thank you to Wendy, and then we'll figure out what to do for the rest of the planned time here. But I know that mindfulness is really important to you, and I just wondered if you could say something about that and music and your music, your songwriting, and how that all connects for you.
Well, first I'll say that mindfulness really came in handy while we were trying to work out the tech problems.
Yeah, I thought of that. I did. I thought of that. Yes. Yes.
Oh, there you are. You're back. You're back.
Wow.
We
Nothing
can
happened
see
on
you
this
again.
end. Nothing happened on this end for me.
I know. That's how it's been
it
today.
clearly.
So, mindfulness is as if, I know it's very, very popular in the culture, but it's just a way of being present without judgment, paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally, and really just being with what's here, accepting life as it comes, and then responding as opposed to reacting. And so that's one aspect of mindfulness. It's really about being present, and certainly helps me. The practice of mindfulness, which includes, meditation and yoga, but also just, being present for conversations or, everyday moments, or holding myself in compassion when I'm hurting, and, being with others in a similar way. So it's just very heart-centered practices. And, with songwriting, hey, it helps to be present, to notice the details, notice the things that seem like they could be a good idea, but also just to open to the mystery of however we write songs, that just getting out of the way and letting something come through, allowing space for life to come through, for spirit to come through, for just, accidents that end up being, good ideas, happy accidents, just really being here for life, for the process of songwriting, and also playing, letting go of trying to control things, and being playful and joyful in life. So it's just a few things off
That's
the
wonderful.
cuff.
That's just so well said. I don't think I can add anything except to say that I'm sure that's come in handy for you your whole life, including your recent recovery and the songwriting, and it sounds like it's a part of your life, not just a full part of all of your life, which is wonderful. I try, I have a 20-minute meditation practice, 20 minutes a day, pretty much every day.
Great.
And I try to take some of that into the rest of my life, and like you said, respond, not react. A lot of that felt very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
But, well, I'm going to say just I love you and your music, Wendy, and a huge thank you for trying with us today and getting past the little technical stuff and doing what you do. Thank you so much.
Daryl, thank you so much for inviting me, and for going with it, even though it wasn't quite what we had hoped technically. But thank you so much, and for your support. And I can't wait to hear more of your songs.
Right.
So thank you. Love you much.
Bye-bye, Wendy.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was special. And I still don't know, are we seeing me? Are we hearing me? I'm going to sing one more song, I think. Oh, you were asking if Wendy could sing one more song. I think that would have been great. This is what we asked her for two, though. So thank you, Mark. Thanks for noticing. I really, I've heard Wendy is in this Monday Night Songwriting Group. We have just a bunch of really brilliant and thoughtful people, and Wendy is one of the best for giving feedback from the heart stuff that is really useful. Hear you, but my image is frozen. I'm so sorry. It doesn't make any sense because I'm looking at my not frozen perfect image on my computer. So where is the bottleneck? It's not my camera because I'm seeing a good picture. I just don't know. I'm going to play one more song, whether I'm here or not. I think you apparently can hear it. Another one of the new ones that I haven't been playing a lot. I'm going to do this song called Connected. And I'm going to say thank you to Wendy Beckerman and the songwriting group. Thank you, Tim Robinson, for being here. And thank you, all of you, for being here. I'll play one more song. I'm calling this Connected. Thank you, Mark. The wind blows light, cool morning breeze. That's me whispering hello. The sun shines bright through dappled leaves. I feel your golden glow. These elements we share, it's elementary, my dear. We can be close in any kind of weather, connected through wind and sun and rain, even when we're not together. Stars align, the planets blink. I see it same as you do. Cosmos shine, the moon glows pink. The mystery pulls us through this universe we share. It's universal, my dear. We can be close. The sky goes on forever, connected by streaking comet tails, even when we're not together. Trees reach tall, the rivers wind. Flesh and trails softly meet. And through it all, breath makes our mind. This dirt says walk with me. Well, it's nature that we share, and it's natural, my dear. We can be close, a sweet and kindly tether, connected like reaching aspen roots, even when we're not together, even when we're not together. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Alxa, for all the work you're doing. Thanks for tolerating our technical issues. We'll see you next month on Thursday, and you know where to find me. I'm on all the platforms that are destroying the world. Find me there. Make them better. We'll make them better together. All right. Be nice to each other, and take care.